Hi YouTube, it's me Rio again, and I did a really dumb thing, and I stayed up all night doing research for this video, so you guys better like it. Now, I'm not even gonna get straight into the topic, because I have a little gripe, or just something to get off my chest. So, I don't know if I've said this in a video before, but my favorite underrated musical of all time, aside from Newsies, is 13. It had a short run on Broadway, sadly. I never saw it on Broadway because I found out about it like a month after like they stopped doing it. But I've listened to the soundtrack a bajillion, freaking jillion times, and I love it. I know every song, I know every lyric, and I've seen like a high school or something did it, and then they posted it on YouTube, so I watched it there. So yeah, and I've read the book, so I have a lot of knowledge about it. But I'm just so confused about this one song, or these two songs actually. Now, apparently in the Broadway version, because it's on the soundtrack, um, after like everything falls to poop, like right in the middle of the show, Evan, the main character, he has a song called "Here I Come," and it's basically like a self-empowerment song. It's a good song, and I think it's either the closing song for the first act or the opening song for the second act. I'm unsure. I have not seen it, of the Broadway version, but in the high school production version, instead of "Here I Come," it's "Being a Geek," and it opens up the second act. Now, that song is also on the soundtrack for the Broadway show, so I'm just very confused. Now, personally, if I were like writing the show, I would want to have "Being a Geek" be in place of Here I Come," because I that'd be a much better song. Because "Here I Come," it's good, but it starts out really corny. Like, look it up, or look up "Being a Geek." That's really good. And I have a question about "Being a Geek." What is the like exact version? Because I've heard like three different versions. Like, one is like you're always the parts like I'm just gonna sing a part from like two different songs. You're always wondering what everybody's laughing about, and looking in at the world like you got locked out. And another one is you're always wondering what everybody's laughing about, and wearing horrible clothes that your mom picked out. I like the second one better because it's funny. And the first one just makes me sad. I'm like, yeah, I have felt that way. But whatever. Comment if you know what I'm talking about. You probably don't. You could probably just skip the first 3 minutes of this video. Anyways, well, you've actually could probably skip this whole video because you probably don't care about this video. So, I am letting my dearest friend Nicole borrow this movie today. And in honor of me giving this away for probably a week. Oh my gosh! I don't even have theater for the next 2 weeks, so I won't be seeing this movie for 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. But, oh my gosh, this is a terrible idea. But anyway, I'm letting my friend Nicole borrow this movie. And in honor of me letting her borrow it, I wanted to make a video. And then probably after this video, I'm going to watch the movie because why not? So, I'm not going to do another review because my first Newsies review was like total poop. And yeah, so I'm just going to do, use my research knowledge, and do a compare and contrast video, sort of Newsies in the real life events that happened in the 1899 Newsboy strike. So, basically, what you have is newsboys, the price goes up on the papers and they strike. That's basically what you have. And, in the movie version, everything is a lot simpler in the movie. You see, because I'll say this later, but basically it's like they decide like the newsboys, the price goes up, they strike, they keep striking, and then finally they win in the end. The price is lowered. Hallelujah! It's like, oh, it's great. Ain't it a fine life? Carrying the bandits. I'm sorry, I'm like insane right now. But and it's great. I love the movie. It's like such a feel-good movie. It would always make me happy if I watched it when I was sad. But I normally don't tend to do that, which I probably should, instead of listening to pity music. Anyways, wow. Anyways, but the real life events were a lot more complicated than that. The first newspaper article that was about the Newsboys strike was July 21st, 1899, and actually the person who the character of Jack Kelly was based off of was like the main person talked about in the article. His name was Mike Sullivan. His nickname was Jack, which I don't get that, but what are you gonna do? I don't get a lot of stuff, but it was like really showing like the beginnings of the strike. Then as you go on, you hear a lot of stuff about Kid Blink, which I'm so upset that how much that character was minimalized, whatever, in the movie, because I've read about this guy for like ever for probably, I don't even know when I discovered Newsies, but I've been reading up on this guy. I did a report on him for social studies, for crying out loud, during my immigration unit. And not immigration. Oh wait, immigration and like New York during the 1800s. Don't leave me alone. But I was so upset at how minimalized this character was in the movie, and because he was the actual leader of the strike. Like, I mean, there are various leaders, but he was like the head guy. You know what I mean? Oh, my camera just did weird stuff. Anyways, you probably couldn't see it. But and like there's like this whole big story about how I can't remember, but apparently like he was arrested at one point or fined at one point, and all these events took place over the course of a week. And at one point, Kid Blink got all the Newsies to stop the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, they had a rally right on the Brooklyn Bridge, no like transportation go through it, and it was like, that just sounds epic in my opinion. But and there's this big like, so apparently these are all like rumors, but Kid Blink was like called to Pulitzer's office, which they have a similar scene like this in Newsies when Pulitzer tries to bribe Jack to stop the strike. Basically the same thing happens, but Kid Blink took the money and no one ever saw him again. And like that's crazy. I have to read more about it because I find it so interesting. But yeah, Jack, the character of Jack, I said before, was based on a real person. Kid Blink, no duh, was based on a real person. Racetrack Higgins, based on a person of the same name. Crutchy from the movie was based on a person named Crutch Morris. Mush was based on a guy whose nickname was Mush. Spot Conlon, based on a guy named Spot Conlon. Or at least this is from what I know, what I've read. Because, well, I hope I'm right, because I read all these articles like that were from newspapers. I didn't like read the newspapers, crying out loud, but that's what they have the internet for. And there's this website. Maybe I'll put it a link in the description below, because like there's this website that has like all these articles about the Newsies strike, and I find it absolutely like interesting. I'm totally geeking out right now, but I don't really care. Obviously there was no singing, no dancing back in 1899. Sad face. Maybe the price would have been lowered, because in the end the price wasn't even lowered. And yeah. But the good thing was that if the Newsies didn't sell out of the papers from that day, they were allowed to sell them back. So, yay! Gosh, I think Boots was based on a real person too, but I don't remember. Always wondering what everybody's laughing about, and wearing horrible clothes that your mom picked out. Rob Duvall in this movie. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to talk about Rob Duvall. Like, what was going through his mind? Like, oh my gosh. And I read, me being a geek, I read a biography about Pulitzer, and in this movie, Pulitzer is portrayed as a deranged, D-toothed tiger. I took that quote. I forgot who I took that quote from, but it's not mine. But I just wanted to use it because I thought it was funny. And Pulitzer was like kind of dead at this point. He wasn't like, and like they kind of in the movie they kind of put in that he was hard of hearing, but at this point Pulitzer was like freaking deaf. Like he couldn't hear nothing. Yeah, I'm like just bleh right now. So I'm surprised that I'm even going to post this, but whatever.